Michael Weatherly, known for playing Tony DiNozzo in NCIS, may have just delivered the perfect pitch for how the franchise can bring back its punkish, fan-favorite medical examiner. Ever since Paulie Perrette left the show, fans have speculated about Abby Sayuto's NCIS return and how it might happen. Although there are still notable roadblocks, Weatherly's plan is the best yet. While Perrette left the show because of issues with her co-star, or his dog, to be specific, Mark Harmon's NCIS departure sparked fan rumors that Abby could finally return. Perrette's retirement in 2024 seemingly closed the book on the conversation, but Weatherly has the perfect idea to bring her back through NCIS franchise spin-offs, provided that she's up for it. Michael Weatherly wants to see Paulie Perrette as Abby in NCIS, Tony and Ziva. He just doesn't want to see her until the show's ready for her. Paulie Perrette as Abby Sayuto and Michael Weatherly as Tony DiNozzo in NCIS. Copyright symbol CBS, courtesy Moverstills DB. Abby's one of few characters that even Tony would say can be a bit over the top, but that's not to say there isn't a great deal of professional respect between them. That respect appears to be shared by the character's actors as well, going by Weatherly's answer when asked why Gibbs and McGee aren't in NCIS. Tony and Ziva, while he might not directly call for Abby's appearance in the spin-off, it certainly piques interest that he brings her up so quickly. As Weatherly explains, Tony and Ziva is too busy finding its own legs to justify bringing in a character like Abby just yet, but he seems very on board with having Perrette show up in the future. He's not exaggerating the need to wait before bringing in other characters. Tony and Ziva's spin-off strikes a different tone from the flagship NCIS. Although the characters are still recognizable to any fan, Weatherly portrays a slightly more grounded version of DiNozzo with notes of exhaustion behind the quips. The new tone needs breathing room before bringing in nostalgia hires. There are plenty of potential NCIS cameos in Tony and Ziva that fans would love to see. Abby, like all of them, faces the same challenge in that Perrette would have to adjust her character's behaviors to better fit the spin-off's tone. In a way, however, that's exactly what makes Weatherly's new Paramount Plus series the perfect fit for her return. Why Paulie Perrette's return as Abby works best for NCIS, Tony and Ziva. The spin-off's tonal change is perfect for Sayuto's character. Paulie Perrette as Abby Sayuto in NCIS. Copyright symbol CBS, courtesy Everett Collection. If Michael Weatherly feels like he has to tone down DiNozzo's character a bit for NCIS, Tony and Ziva, then an off-the-wall character like Abby Sayuto would arguably take even more adjusting to fit the spin-off's tone. That could be a slight frustration for Perrette, but it honestly might not be the worst thing in the world for her character. Criticisms of NCIS Abby Sayuto take a number of forms, from those who find her skill sets unrealistic to those who simply haven't forgiven Paulie Perrette for leaving the show. But a very common critique among those less eager to see her character return is that Abby's non-stop quirks and manic pixie dream girl mannerisms are a bit overdone at times. This many years after leaving the agency, it would be easy to tone Abby down a bit if she were to return to the flagship as well. The difference is that fans of the mainstream series might find it jarring to see a more grounded Abby walk into the MCRT offices. But it's a bit more forgivable in the spin-off. Since she'd only be toned down enough to fit the vibe NCIS, Tony and Ziva is aiming for, it would be easier to make any character changes feel a bit more natural. Moreover, even if her return were put off a few seasons, it's harder to disrupt the tone of a series that's still building its own core emotional rhythm. That speaks to the heart of the problem. Abby's alternative style and boundless energy are key components of the character's appeal, but many fans felt Abby was too cartoonish to age well with NCIS as it got more serious. Tony and Ziva could balance her out somewhat, just as soon as they've tackled the other problems with bringing her back. NCIS still faces hurdles bringing Paulie Perrette back as Abby Sayuto. Her retirement is not by far the only issue standing in the way. Abby Sayuto, Paulie Perrette, Tony DiNozzo, Michael Weatherly, and Ziva David, Cote de Pablo, in NCIS. Copyright symbol CBS, courtesy Moverstills DB. One of the most obvious roadblocks to NCIS bringing Abby back is that Perrette herself has made it quite clear in the past, even before she retired from acting altogether, that she has little interest in reprising her role. Plenty of retired actors have returned to the screen for roles or stories they found compelling, but it's never a guarantee. Perhaps NCIS, Tony and Ziva could hook her with the right script, and Perrette's friendship with Weatherly might not hurt. The fact that NCIS, Tony and Ziva is in Paramount Plus' top 10 shows could also be a motivating factor. But even if Perrette did want to come back, her return could spark backlash from irate Mark Harmon fans. There seems to be little debate that he kept bringing his dog to set after it bit a crew member, but conflicting narratives and inconsistencies led to some valid questions about Perrette's account. Sadly, the result is that a large portion of the NCIS fandom still denigrates Perrette for opposing Harmon, often using language more suitable for Paramount Plus than CBS. Finally, there's the issue of convincing Abby herself to return. Story-wise, she left NCIS in large part to get away from death. She might like Tony, but that doesn't mean she likes him enough to go back on such a major decision. If she ever does return, her storyline won't work without a lot of personal motivation baked into it.